your wedding day. Such memories. Your smiling face, the love in her eyes, promising of a lifelong journey of understanding and support. So what the fuck happened? You out the house, she got the car, and you're recovering on your homeboy's couch, or even worse, in your parents' basement. Life after marriage is not something most men are prepared for. Many don't even talk about the issues that affected what was supposed to be one of the best things that ever happened. What now? How does your life start over? It's time to talk about it. The Lame Show starts now.
Welcome to the Lame Show. Life after marriage ends. We are your hosts, Daniil.
Lame show.
Drew.
Yo.
Corin.
What's up?
Jamal. And
in the
Kier.
building.
So tonight we got a topic. Our topic tonight is, should a paternity test be necessary before any child support proceedings there happen? So we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, fellas, let's jump right in. This is an interesting topic. I think it's going to touch, the nerve of many of our listeners, and something we've never covered before. So I'm going to start with let's see. I'm going to start with Daniil. Daniil, what are your thoughts on that, bro? Like, what do you think? Should a paternity test be necessary?
I feel like Goran has more stats on this from me.
He got some stats, right? So let's So that's a good idea. Yeah, Goran, you got the stats, right? So
Y'all motherfuckers are scared.
Let me set it up. Let me set it up.
Set the
winding
bar.
up.
Set the bar. Wind it up. Throw that shit.
Let me
Throw the
set it up.
fastball.
So, you got the horn ready? So,
come on.
we do research on the Lame Show for topics.
Yes, sir.
And in my research, I came across this story.
Okay.
Story out of Texas, where there's a gentleman who's being told by the court that he's got to pay $65,000 in child support, even though the DNA test proves that kid is not his. $65,000 in child support for a kid that's not his, that he's proven to the court he's not his. So that's the story
that work,
across.
bro. Like, how does that work?
Well,
like,
how old is the child?
Does it matter?
Yes, it does.
Why?
Because he
his.
signed a legal document. He signed the birth certificate.
He didn't sign shit.
He didn't sign the birth certificate.
Nope.
Are
He
you
didn't even
sure
know
about
kid
that?
existed.
No, ex-girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was over a decade ago that she is
so
now
the kid is at
claiming.
least
So
10
the
years
kid's
old.
probably 10. Yeah.
At least 10 years old, right?
At least 10.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So he'll be fine.
And he never knew that the kid existed.
Right. He's not gonna have to pay. This is one of those archaic laws that get challenged in the legislature.
Jamal,
and when they make a big stink about it. I've seen this happen before. It happened in Michigan with a guy. Yes. He's supposed to be. I think he muted himself because his mute button is on. You muted yourself?
I guess I did. I don't know how I got muted. My bad, y'all.
I'm looking at you in the video because you were saying some hot fire.
Yeah,
I was. I said I don't. Listen, bruh. I said I don't believe you. You need more people. I don't believe that even if dude, I think he still got to pay, man. I think the court system is built that way that it don't matter whether you got facts and DNA and physical proof. She said you the daddy, you paying, nigga. So that's how it's going.
Right. No, I'm just saying that when you have a story like this and it's making a big stink and it's like showing that this person is being wronged, a state legislator usually steps in and be like, we're going to create a law so this doesn't happen again. And then the person waits it out until the law is in effect because it usually goes through smoothly. Most state legislators, they want to be on TV, so they want to be the first to push this bill through.
Is it
'Cause it
Texas
protects people.
or Phoenix? Is it
Houston.
which
I think
state is
Houston,
this?
Texas. Houston,
Oh,
Texas.
He done.
It's Texas.
He done.
Nah, he ain't done.
He-
It's like really, that's what happens. They create new legislation and the person waits it out and they don't pay shit.
Okay.
That just sounds good.
It sounds good.
It went to the judge one time, and the judge said, "Sorry, bro, you got to pay." You know why? Because the mother has receipts that you gave her money in the past. So you're claiming but that act of you giving money in the past, automatically that's like accepting responsibility. So it's already been to the judge once.
Okay, he's not the judge. This is always go. This is gonna go to if it doesn't stop at the next level, it goes to the Texas Supreme Court. This is stuff they make movies about. And
bro.
And then if it leaves there, it goes to the U.S. Supreme Court. Like he can't
bro.
in this country. That is
Look,
something.
I don't have
and he's
no faith
and
in
plus he's probably is he a white male?
It doesn't say in the article, but it based on the name, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
Right. That guy's not going to have to pay anything.
Yes, he will.
Oh no,
Because
he's fucked.
He will.
There's cases like this
whatever
all
he
over
pays,
the
he'll
country.
get reimbursed because a law is going to be put in place, and then they won't have to, because it's
He ain't gonna be
look at
reimbursed.
what you're asking this person
Jamal,
to do.
you're
You're asking
bugging,
this
B.
person to.
You're
You
bugging.
want this person? You never heard of a state reimbursing?
I have. And I promise you,
Okay,
he ain't
see?
getting none of that money back. Anything that he has to pay, or if he has to pay until it goes to trial 2 to 3 years from now, that dude is never seeing that money again. I promise you that.
Right.
So
It's like basically if he did not sign any birth certificate and he did not and the child, there's no DNA linking him to the child. In this
First of all-
country, you get screwed over locally. When it goes federal, that they're a little bit more sensible people there, and they think national, and we have to protect everybody. So they'll create a law that protects every man.
you're an optimist.
So
Alright,
you know,
this
signing a birth
situation.
certificate is a myth, right?
Say it again.
Signing a birth certificate is a myth. You don't have to sign a birth certificate to be held liable for paternity.
Drew's
Okay.
right.
And so to that,
So
in
think-
doing some more research, there's another case law out of New York where a non-biological father is forced to pay child support. Basically the same thing. There was a case where it was a girlfriend, they had a child, they broke up, he had a separate family, she went after him for child support. DNA test came back to show the child was not his, but based on some payments that he made, some agreements that he made with her, he is now liable for child support.
And what year was this?
This was in like 2013.
Yeah, I think I read something that if you're paying for 2 years consecutively, then you're on the hook. You know, whether it's your kid or
Whether
not.
it's your kid or not. I believe that. That sounds more realistic to me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and if she can prove that you've been paying, then it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So then, which brought me to bring this topic to the Lame Show. There's another study of a group that does DNA tests. So this is one of the largest, tests out there. They did an independent study, and based on the data they have, 1 in 25 fathers is not the biological child it's not the biological father.
I saw it on Maury.
1 in 25.
I saw it on Maury, son.
So 1 in 25 fathers out there are not the biological parent.
I think it's more than that. I think it's like 4 in 25. I know you got your studies up there, but I think
Bro, there's
the
a lot of
stats are a
dudes
little
right now
higher.
that's married,
So then it brings me to
and that daughter don't look like his. That son don't look like his.
in a
there's a
child
lot of
support
dudes out there.
situation,
I know a
should,
couple of them.
whether it's the man or the woman, whoever's claiming child support, should a paternity test be the first thing that's brought to the court?
I think so. I personally do.
I think so. And if that person asks that person if they want the parental rights, and if that person does want their parental rights or doesn't, you can't. If your DNA is attached to the child, I don't think you can give up your parental rights and your financial responsibility.
Right.
All right,
Totally agree.
so- So I got a curveball, Jamal, since you brought that up. So if the non-parent, the person has proven to be, DNA, that this is not their child, if they want their parental rights, should they then be required to now pay child support? If they say that they
If the person who does not have the DNA link, if they want to be the father,
yeah,
should they be attached to?
should they have
They
to
should
pay
be a
child
child.
support
They
at that
should,
point, because they're like, well,
yes, yes,
yeah, then
to
yes,
create a checks and balance. Yes, to create a checks and balance and make sure this person doesn't renege on his responsibility because it got hard, and be like, yo, I ain't the biological daddy. So if this shit is tall, you got a little badass kid. I'm out.
I'm out.
I don't know who would do that, but I don't
There
know.
are
Just
plenty
put a little
of men who
put
do
a little
that.
twist in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
There are plenty of men who have a DNA link who do the same thing. This shit is too hard. I'm out.
Yeah, you're right about that. But yeah.
But
So
just think about it. There's at least 1 out of 25 guys. So if you put 25 guys in a room, at
one of
least
them ain't the daddy.
one of those 25, one of them ain't their kid's daddy
Biologically.
right,
and they probably don't know it.
Okay.
Nah,
So-
he know it.
So
You
let's
know
get
it.
back to the original
Oh,
question, right?
you know
The
it.
original question, because we brought like these microscopic situations where these people were proven not to be the father. But in general, what are you guys' thoughts on the topic at hand? Like, should a DNA test be required? And at this point, based on what you guys are telling me, it don't even matter. Like, DNA tests, they should just throw the shit out. It shouldn't even matter at that point, because if the other rules apply, you could take the DNA test and you just wasted your money because you still got to pay. So
You know what's so crazy is that DNA test can exonerate you from murder, but it doesn't exonerate you from child support.
that's crazy.
So is that right or wrong?
That's
Should the laws
wrong.
be changed?
That's wrong, son.
And now I pose
Should-
another question to you.
Yeah, of course.
What happens
there are a
if-
lot of archaic laws that are being discovered.
Yeah, but that's a law that's never going to get overturned, not in this climate, because
You know
I'm not
why?
going to say it.
You know why?
I'm going to pass on that.
You know why? 'Cause
Why?
somebody got to pay for this baby. I ain't paying for him. One of y'all two that was in the room
Well-
and got some ass is paying for this baby. It ain't gonna be me
No.
and the other taxpayers.
No.
So,
The nigga who make the most money is paying for it.
well,
I'm going to flip. I got a question for you guys. If you feel that DNA tests should be mandatory for child support applicants, if those men don't show up, should a arrest warrant be put out?
It's already the case.
yeah,
That's
I
already
think
the case.
Not everywhere. Not everywhere.
All right, well, let's talk about New York. Let's talk about New York and North Carolina and Florida, because those are the states that we all reside in.
Okay, talk about New
That's-
York. 'Cause
that's
I don't
good.
have any.
In New York, you can't even get a driver's license if you owe child support.
Okay, I know that, but like, let's talk about how we get on child support. How does a person in New York get on child support?
Either they put themselves on it, or the custodial parent goes to court and files for it.
Okay, for that custodial parent in New York City to receive payment, does she have to establish a DNA link?
She would have to go to court, and then they'd have to be in a perfect world, she would go to court, and then the judge would require that the person who's being sued for child support come take a DNA test.
is that
Okay,
true?
So that happens in New York. That happens in New York.
I'm saying
that
in a
true?
perfect world.
No.
We need to talk
We're
about facts.
real facts. What is
In
New
real
York's
life, no.
law
In New York,
regards
what do
to
you
that?
know about New York?
In New York, she would go down. There would be a hearing to establish paternity. Once
Okay.
paternity established, he'd have to pay.
Right. Once a term. So
Well-
there are checks and balances to save that man
Well,
from getting child in New York.
Well,
in New York. We don't have to deal with that in New
let's
York,
slow it
right?
down just a little bit, Jamal. So, okay, Drew, I'm asking. I swear to God, I'm in the same state as you. I don't know. I'm one of the lucky ones. But listen, so what are the requirements to establish paternity, or so if a DNA test is not?
So in New York, any man could go to the court and request a paternity test. That's number one.
Okay.
Right. However, let's just say the person who he slept with had multiple partners at the same time. Okay.
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 What the court's gonna say is what's in the best interest of the child. So let's just say that this person was her husband or her boyfriend, and he thought the baby was his. And like Goran said in his a few minutes ago, he was making payments toward the child. He was taking care of the child. So by him taking care of the child, at that point, he's established paternity. So even though he does not have the same DNA as that child, he's that child's father.
He's on the hook.
Now,
On the
the
hook.
question I have now is, what happens if he wants custody of said child that does not share his DNA? Would he get custody?
If he can establish, if he has a good case, I would hope so. It depends on the judge. I know a lot of fathers who are now getting full custody because they are fighting back and they have evidence to show that they are the better parent.
But the question is, let's say they don't share the same DNA, and he's required to pay child support. Would he be able to go ahead now and get custody of that child?
Yes, if he was married, he already has custody.
No. But it's proven that he's not the actual, parent of the child, DNA wise. Can he still?
He can petition the court.
He can petition the court to get.
Yes, if he wants that. If he has to fight.
Yeah,
okay.
Depending on the child's age,
fight to make sure that he stays in that little person's life.
Yeah,
he has to fight.
He could officially try to adopt.
Right.
Okay.
He's got options, but it's like Maul said, it's going to be tough.
And I would also think that he would have to prove that the mother is unfit. I would think so, at least in this state.
Well, he'll get some rights. I don't know if he'll get full custody, but he'll get some rights. Go ahead, D. Wright. What you had to say?
I have a question for the group. How many guys in here would seek a paternity test?
Not at all. That little girl looked just like me. She looked just like me. That's my daughter.
How do you know?
There ain't nobody down. That's my daughter.
Nah, they got my ears and my flat ass feet. Those my babies.
There's no doubt that that's my daughter. I got no question whatsoever. I don't care if the mailman was in my house when I got home. I'm like, well, shit, it could be no, it ain't the mailman. Get him out of here. He is
and
not
I think
the father.
The mothers connected to us. I think we all feel that we have good ladies who would not do that.
Yeah.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, there's no suspicion
for that 1 in 25 out there that might not know today.
Yeah, let's talk about them. But
to go look, you want them that 1 in 25. You want them to go look?
Now, listen.
Some fathers have suspicion.
Is it fair for that dude to pay child support though? That one dude that's like, wait, so I'm the only one in here that I ain't the daddy?
Hey, Gordon, what's the name of that? What's the name of that agency, that advocacy that's fighting for those guys? What's the name of that?
There is none, right?
There is none.
They haven't made one yet.
Right,
they got to be at least 4 guys. Damn. So them 2 guys, they ain't enough. There's not. You need more people.
I was about to donate money to them.
You got to protect yourself, guys. If you have these suspicions,
you mean wear a condom
that you're dealing with, you got or get that before you take that baby home. You ask for a paternity test. You tell the woman when she tells you she's pregnant, yo, I got screwed in the back. I'm going to ask for a paternity test. Something. You got to let them know up front, this is what's going to happen. It's just everybody's all in love and doesn't see the person who could possibly do that to him. He doesn't see that in her. So he won't ask. But if he begins to get suspicious and people throwing stuff in his ear, yeah, he's gonna do, or he might be in love with the child to the point where he doesn't want to know.
Yeah, that's another thing. That bond that you build with a child that you think is yours, it's hard to break that, man. If you find out it's not yours, yourself. Like the bond that you've built, you know what I mean, raising that child for 10, 12 years, whatever it is, and now you turn around and find out it's not yours. That's a hard thing to give up, man. I mean, that could crumble some people.
And the thing about it, you so in love with that child, and you see how the mother is. All mothers ain't the best. They ain't all Claire Huxtable.
That's a fact.
They really not.
That's a fact.
So a guy might see, if I leave this baby with this woman right here, that child is fucked for life.
That's a fact.
So I'm staying.
That's a fact.
I'm getting split custody. Yo, I'm not going to throw this child to the wolves, which is what I would be doing if I left.
But is that worth
I have such a
65 grand?
bond.
Is that worth
65 grand?
If you're caring for a child that you love, you're going to be paying over 65 grand. The whole lifetime of that person.
So Jamal, I the one thing I do have to say is you have a lot of faith in the court system, because I don't have
He got too much faith.
as much faith as you.
No, it's not faith. I've seen it play out. I've seen the case that you guys brought up. I've seen a similar one. There was one guy who he was locked up, didn't know that the state was looking for him. The woman said he is not the baby, and the state still wanted the money from him.
Yep.
Because they had paid her. So he went on the news with it, just like this guy that you talked about. And then the state legislator picked it up and be like, whoa, we can't have this. And then they put a law in place, and the guy goes home. He's not going to have to pay.
Bro, that's Texas. The Republicans in Texas not about to pay for no baby.
That's a fact.
That man is paying that $65,000.
Did y'all fuck? All right, you pay.
Until a Republican gets caught out there like this.
Don't know
somebody.
Yeah, you're right. Then they changed the laws.
Then they changed the laws.
Yes or no?
Quick then, right?
You paying $65,000 for the buns. That's it.
Like, my son got caught up in this.
With
aren't you a contributor to so-and-so's campaign? Yeah.
Expensive buns.
Yeah, but I don't think it's an easy thing to ask a woman for a test.
Bingo.
It's not easy.
Let's talk about that elephant in the room.
Speak on it.
Go ahead, Daniil. Let's expound on that part.
I mean, I don't think I could. I mean, I could if the situation was the right situation, but I don't think that's an easy ask. To
I want a paternity test.
Actually, yeah, this is the woman that you so-called love. You made a love child with, allegedly, and now you got.
But dudes, you gotta get smooth with it. You don't.
How would you say it, Jamal?
How do you finesse that?
Let's role play. How would you say it, Jamal?
I wouldn't say that at all.
Before y'all role play, I'm just gonna say this. Ladies,
I'll leave out. This is what I was
gonna cut her hair.
Go ahead,
Daniil. He won't question your paternity.
Holla at Daniil.
Oh, holla at Daniil. This is what I would do. You don't even gotta ask her. You gotta say, hey, I got the baby right now. You go ahead and relax. You go change the baby, and while you're changing the baby, you swab the baby. And then you pack it up yourself and you send it off. That's how my boy did. My boy did that.
Snitch.
You don't have to ask anymore. You just do it yourself. Hey, I got it.
You did CSI, son?
Huh?
You did the CSI?
Yeah, my boy did the CSI. Like, you don't have to ask anymore. It's just like, yo, I'm gonna sign that. Hold. I gotta do this today. I can't do it. I can't sign. And you get your results back right to your address.
So then once you all right,
interrupt it.
So then once you get the results back, and what do you do with those results? How do you take those results to swab?
This guy interesting all of a sudden.
If it's not in your favor,
yep. Then what?
Then you exit. Most people when they
but if you exit,
when a baby is born, no one goes right to the courthouse. Very few people go right to the courthouse.
So if you find out it's not yours, and then you exit, and then she still puts you on child support because you ran off and left her with the kid. Now what's your recourse?
I have to fight it in court. I'm not gonna punch her in the face.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make her disappear. I have to fight it in court.
So you're gonna win that? You gonna win that court case? You gonna win that court case?
Depends on the state. It depends on the state.
Okay.
Yo, so Jamal just gave you the blueprint of how to get your paternity test done.
Right, without no drama.
I think we missed that. I'm gonna drop a horn to that.
Yeah, change them Pampers and get that proof.
There's ways to change them Pampers
and get the proof.
If the Pampers don't fit, you must have quit.
Man, I don't have as much faith in the judicial system as Jamal does.
Most people don't.
Yeah. So
no, I don't have faith in it.
You seem to.
I have the opportunity to fight.
Okay.
In court. The legal system gives you the opportunity to fight. Doesn't mean you're gonna win, but it gives you the opportunity to fight, to say, no, I'm not agreeing to this.
You had the chance to get in the ring with Mike Tyson too, and you ain't gonna win that one either.
It depends on if I can run. I could box.
How many rounds, right, before I get paid?
Yeah, how many rounds before
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm climbing in the ring there.
I go down? I go down to. But you guys never answered my question. How long if a guy refuses to take a DNA test? How long should he be sentenced to jail? Should he be kept in jail until he rests to take that test?
No, you just have to pay. If you don't want
Huh?
to take it, that's on you.
Yeah, if you don't want to take it,
But
that's,
no, but
so wait,
if that's holding
admitting
her
that's
up,
admitting acceptance or admitting guilt.
but that's
right?
if that's holding up a woman receiving her payment
Right.
because
No, it's
the
not.
state
If you
doesn't
don't
know
wanna
what
take
they
it-
need to give.
If you don't want to take it, it's
So
yours,
if you don't
bro.
want to take it, I think he should pay.
Right.
Right, so he doesn't
And
get
if he
out.
takes
until he
it,
starts
I don't
paying.
think he should pay if he's not the father. That sounds fair to me.
So.
So if he gets
So
arrested
hypothetical
for not
situation.
So the question I have for you guys is, how does the court hold women accountable?
By freeing the man.
Yeah,
No,
but there's a whole dad out there that's gonna just walk, and someone else is footing the bill for his actions.
Right. And
if he's the real dad, though, Daniel,
that you talked about.
if he's the actual father,
No,
My whole thing is you can't just have hot girl summer in Vegas, come back pregnant, pin it on some dude, and that's it. No accountability. You can't just be
So-
out here thotting.
I think you can sue, probably. Some people, I think there's been a lawsuit
you got
filed
stats.
in some cases.
You got stats,
Not in
Jamal.
front of me, but I read a lot of stories.
You ain't bring no
that doesn't
stats to the
happen
table.
often. But it's like, what do you guys want? It seems like, Drew, do you want some like retribution for the men that got? Do you want them? You want it monetarily? You want it? We want them to go on the steps of the court. And,
They should go find a real father and have him pay.
okay, and if
No.
they can't find him,
Whose fault is that? Not the person.
not
the person.
hers. Yeah,
not the
of
person
course.
who's. Not the person who they tried to pin it on.
No, she
of
should.
course, right? They
not
should
the high
allow-
value male.
They should garnish her checks until he get all of that money back.
There you go.
Okay.
Somebody has to be held accountable for that.
Somebody got to pay.
Right. Oh, okay. I think there probably aren't enough laws on the books that punish fibs and liars and dishonesty, because that leads to a lot.
Didn't Kanye West say it in one of his songs?
Think
What?
So
18 years.
18 years.
I ain't
Got
seen
you for
shit.
18
find out that-
years. And on the 18th year,
And
you find out it wasn't his.
He should get all that money.
Right. But even I think people get over that. Honestly,
How you get
I do.
over paying
I
for
think that-
child support
What?
for 18 years
But-
and find out on the
Because this is
19th
what-
birthday, guess what, bro?
If-
it wasn't
if-
yours.
She said, "Got him."
If
Remember
right now,
Jamal from the
Come
Lame
see
Show?
Jamal.
It was
He will take care of your
his.
kid for 18 years.
I'm gonna mess y'all head up right
Yeah,
now.
how do you get over that?
I'm gonna mess y'all up right now because you couldn't even because you
Gunshot.
can't even fathom it, right? Because you can't even fathom it, you won't think of this. But if each of you were told right now, biologically,
Stop.
that
do
child
that.
is not yours,
Stop.
none of you are
Don't even
leaving.
go there.
Don't do that.
None of you are leaving.
Don't do that, Jamal.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't-
I'm fucking
don't-
with y'all now. Right?
You said that.
None
you
of you are
divorced.
leaving.
Don't do that.
None of you are leaving.
You stirring the
You
pot
are-
right
no
now.
one-
You stirring the pot.
You know what I'm saying? None of you are leaving. You're gonna look at that kid and be like, you're gonna be like, I'm still your dad. I'm still your dad.
I'm still your dad.
Yeah. But
Choked
Like
up
I
and
said,
all.
they both got
Choked
my
up,
flat ass
crying
feet.
and shit.
I ain't worried about that.
Right. None of you are leaving.
Yeah, because I mean, at that point, would you even say? Is there any value in saying anything at this
I
point?
don't think
Exactly.
so,
You're
man.
so in love with all of us are so
Yeah,
in love with our
that's a
children right
fact.
now. It doesn't matter what we find out about them.
Yeah,
We
that's
find
a
out
fact.
they're the alien spawn of an invading armada. And be like, I'm gonna ride it out with you, baby. So your
That's-
real daddy comes.
You know,
I'm fighting him when he get here.
you know what?
I'm
It's
fighting
cr-
him when he
it's-
get here.
That's the bar that's show right there. What you just said, everything we said is out the window because ain't none of us walking away from our kids, man. And it don't matter what we find out at
Nobody
this point.
is.
Not none of us on this show. Danielle, I know how
think
much you love
if
your
you
son.
first hear about it,
Goran, I know how much you love your kids. I know how much all you guys love your kids, and I know how much I love my daughter. We're not walking away, son. At this point,
Right.
nah.
Nah,
that's my daughter.
This is like you.
What were you saying,
Yeah.
D? Right?
yo, I think when you first hear about it, you might get upset. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
you're gonna
you
get
would.
upset.
Absolutely.
You know,
That'll hurt. It'll
but
be a gut punch.
to your point though, when you look that kid in the eye, it's gonna be tough to walk away.
Bro,
It's gonna be
Right. It's
tough.
gonna be
That's a
you're
hard.
not
That's a
walking
hard
away from
damn
ask.
that
near
child.
impossible.
Yeah.
Damn near
Yeah.
impossible.
It's gonna bother you still, though.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's gonna
it'll
bother you.
you'll have the moments. You'll have the moments where you break down by yourself.
You're gonna have your.
And
don't
it's
don't get
really
fucked
good.
up.
Birthday
Don't get it
parties.
fucked up. You're not in the clear.
You might think about getting a white Bronco.
Yeah, man. The white Bronco is
Pause.
possible, man.
Or you might be that father's be like, yo, I would never fight my son, and then you find out the real truth, and you stay his father, and then you start doing shit, and you start punching him like you don't know him.
Oh man, that's abuse.
That's
Can't do
abuse.
that.
But it was like, yeah, that you might be one of those dads that just might parent differently. But if you love the child, you won't.
You remember the last
really
Bad
won't.
Boys? The last one when they old and shit, and Marcus is the
Yeah,
grandfather and shit, and Money Mike find out that the 27-year-old dude is trying to kill him as his son.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that does something to you. You know that person is here because of you, so you're not gonna take him out.
Right.
You're not. Yeah.
Right. Nah, that's
Mm-mm.
crazy.
So
That's crazy.
So it sounds like, for the most part, a lot of us feel that a protection for, by the courts in some way would be warranted, but we don't think it's going to ever happen.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it happens in the state. State nationally, no. State by state, it'll happen when someone has a big enough case that'll make legislators be like, "Ooh, this could be me. This could be one of my campaign contributors. So I'm gonna create a law to stop stuff like this from happening." And then that's usually what happens.
And plus, I don't think that a lot of guys have the balls to really ask that question.
They don't have to if they listen to our show.
True.
They learned that they didn't have to. You no longer have to.
But if you don't want to go that route and you want to have a conversation about it, it does put the woman on the defense. You know what I mean? Like, you don't trust me, and it leads to, what are you trying to say? So that's a sticky one, man.
A sticky one you don't have to have. You don't. Unless you want to know early. But once the baby's here, take that swab, change that pamper, get that proof.
All right. Well, with that said, you guys got any more bars to add to this topic? Because we got a lot of info today.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I
talk.
just don't think I was in a position where I don't think I've been with a woman where I felt like I needed to ask. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, none of us have.
I don't
been.
think any of us have been in that situation where it was a doubt in our mind that those are our kids.
So maybe future topic, but I mean, one night stand, right? I mean,
those
have you talked to Cynthia from 86? What did Maul say?
Wow.
Right, you gotta wrap
make
up.
sure she's still alive.
Everyone knows the repercussions. We all know it. We've seen the stories. You know, if you don't want to invite that into your life, you cover up or you don't do it.
Okay.
You just don't do it.
Okay.
Hard to say. Like
It's hard to say.
I've been in a few situations.
You know what it is.
Like, yo, I'm the pullout game got to be strong tonight. It got to be strong.
Jamal, you know you got Turkish kids,
but I ain't gonna do it.
I might. I might. Yo, waking up on a park bench in Istanbul, you don't know what happened to me.
He's like, hi, my name is Amal. Amal Jr.
Amal Jr.
Oh, man.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this one up, y'all. Let's wrap it up.
It's like, we need the next black athlete out of Turkey.
Yeah.
We have a black male on the bench. Let's go get some sperm.
Bars. All right, y'all. Thank you guys again for joining the Lame Show. This was an interesting topic. Hopefully you got some value out of it, or at least a little comedy. if you want to continue to support the show, please go to buymeacoffee.com/The Lame Show, where you can support us for as little as $5 a drink or $10 a month. We appreciate everyone. Please, go to any of our social media. We are on every platform available, and join. Also, we do a Clubhouse show on the Clubhouse app, where we talk about some of the topics that we talk about on the show, as well as, different topics. So, if you get a chance, jump on and check that out. Thanks for listening. And also go back and download all of the episodes of The Lame Show and check them out. We got a lot of content for you. All right, fellas. Anything else?
The Lame Show, the only show for the male perspective. You hear me?
Say it one more time, G.
The Lame Show, the only show for the male perspective. You heard?
Horn.
This here, a man.
Next week.
All right, y'all.